Hey, what is up and good morning everybody. Thanks for clicking on the video. My name is David Pendleton and today we're going to be talking some more Golf Impact. This is going to be the amateur division opening round of the Paris Championship. So if you're following along with me, I really appreciate it. Keep in mind, I'm going to stay in amateur division on all of my accounts until I get a really good grasp of the game and until I've played all the courses in amateur so that I can have everything here on this channel in the playlist section for all new players and all experienced players who are looking for an edge up in tournaments. So for example, if you're an amateur player and you're playing the New York Championship, you can look in the playlist of my section and you'll see a general walkthrough of the New York course. I plan on doing that for all the courses in the game in every single division. It'll take a little bit of time, but I think overall it's going to help a lot of players get an overall strategy of each course. So of course now we're on the Paris Championship. This is going to be my front 9 holes. You're going to see a compilation of a couple of my accounts. And then here later on today, I'll go on and play my other account live on the front 9 holes. So let's talk about hole number 1. Hole number 1, we're getting nice tailwind here. So what we want to do is just use kind of one of these cheaper balls. We're going to use the rose ball. This is a pretty inexpensive ball to buy in the game with gems. That's what I mean by cheaper. We're not going to waste like, a Super Rookie or a Spice ball, anything like that. We're just going to take this nice little rose ball here. We're going to push our target up to max so we get maximum distance on our drive. Now here we're going with quite a bit of overpower. Just keep in mind that when we do this, we really need to hit perfect. So, do the overpower based on how you feel about your own ability to hit perfect, because it's more important to land on the fairway to give us a nice eagle opportunity than it would be to drive the rough, of course. But this will take us into shot number 2. Shot number 2, this little chip in, this is going to be with our wedge when you get this type of distance on the drive. And here, I apply max backspin. I put my ball guide line right to the hole like you can see. 6.1 miles per hour means I need to pull right at 3 rings, which I do there. And here we need to hit perfect to get it to come close. We do hit perfect, and we do get it to go very nicely into the hole to start off hole number 1 with an eagle. This takes us on to hole number 2. Hole number 2, we're going to play with the basic ball. It's just a par 3 as of right now. I'm playing all the par 3s with the basic ball. So keep in mind, if you're someone who wants to play with some of the better balls, you could use a nice little feather ball here. You could even use a clover ball to really reduce the wind. But again, 6.4 miles per hour. This time means I'm going to pull a little bit over 3 rings. We do get ourselves a perfect ball. Now you can see here that the speed is really good. It means we didn't come in too hot to the hole. If we would have been on target, that ball would have definitely dropped in for a hole-in-one. But we just miss it to the right-hand side a little bit. So tweak that shot. Again, if you're going to play with a premium ball, you could add yourself just a little bit of left side spin. Or what you really could do is we could just take our target here, and instead of aiming right here, you see where I'm aiming at? I'm aiming right there at the corner of that dark green square. So the bottom left-hand corner of that dark green square, or the top right-hand corner of the dark green square, whichever dark green square you want to use as a reference. We could just move that over a smidge to the left, and instead of missing to the right-hand side, maybe we'll get a nice little roll to the middle of the cup. So that's what you could do differently to try to get hole number 2 to drop for the hole-in-one. This takes us on the hole number 3 here. Hole number 3, we are going to use a Spice ball. Here we're going to get crosswind on hole number 1. We do like the power of this ball. And the reason why I use this ball is because if you place high in the tournament, you can win quite a few of these. Here we're going to go with full top spin, full side spin to the left. You see here I'm going with just a little bit of overpower. Biggest thing you don't want to do is go with too much overpower and then accidentally hit a great ball and then end up in the rough. I tried to gamble on one of my other accounts, and I did that, and then unfortunately that made me pick up a birdie on this par 5. So we want to stay away from not hitting perfect. It's always better to not gamble and land on the fairway, especially on these long par 5s, because albatrosses are going to be tough to pick up anyway, so we want to make sure we secure that eagle, because we're seeing a lot of opponents not pick up the eagles on these par 5s. So us getting the eagle is almost like getting an extra drop. It helps get us ahead of the competition. Here you see I went with, I went with my shot to pin. We do get very close, so minor tweaks needed on this one, and that'll get you too close to an albatross as well. You can see here we land right next to the hole. The speed was perfect, so we had the spin adjustments right. At this point, it's just about picking a different spot on the green to aim at to try to get that ball more towards the cup. That'll take us on to hole number 4. Hole number 4 here, we are getting headwind, so we're going to go with full top spin. We're going to use the clover ball. I like the clover ball, again, because it's a cheap ball to buy with gems, and it does give you a moderate amount of wind resistance, which is going to be nice when you're getting headwind. So now we drive this ball up the fairway. Comes in very nicely. No issues here, leaving us for shot number 2. You see here, I go with max backspin a lot. I think max backspin gives us good ball control, but I wasn't quite towards the hole, so I took just a little bit of the backspin off, but not a lot. And then I aim right at the cup. 3.3 miles per hour means I need to pull this one just a little bit over 1.5 rings. But unfortunately here, I hit a great ball. So, you hit a great ball, it's not going to go in the hole unless we get lucky, which means that we would have misadjusted anyways. But again, we're lined up right at the pin, so we know the backspin and the speed was good. So small tweaks needed there, but just hit perfect and you'll be a lot closer. So it's on the hole number 5. Hole number 5, again, par 3. Playing the par 3s with the basic ball. It is raining here. Keep in mind that the rain does mess with your shot a little bit, and I'll kind of show you what I've done here. So my setup is like this. I'm using a little bit of topspin. And you're going to notice here my yellow ring right there is touching the rough line with my ball guide line right down the seam. And when I say seam, I mean where the light green and dark green patches meet each other, kind of where they connect, okay? Like if you're putting a puzzle piece together, right where they connect. Now, I want you to notice here we have 6.6 miles an hour. I pulled this one a little bit more than 3 rings, as we're supposed to. You see, the speed was good. The speed was perfect, but we missed to the right-hand side. So, maybe the rain has something to do with that. So in this situation, we want to pull less than 1 ring for every 2 miles per hour. So I know that we're supposed to pull 1 ring for every 2 miles per hour, but you see here, I pulled that exactly as I'm supposed to, and we still missed to the right-hand side. So I would go ahead and under-adjust this shot a little bit. So I would maybe, in the exact same wind scenario, I might only move 2.5 rings or 2.75. Somewhere in that zone should get us a little bit closer. And we'll see, because I'm getting ready to play live. We'll see if some of these minor tweaks work or if they don't. All right, hole 6, we're going to use a spice ball. Another par 5 here. Here, of course, I'm just going with max top spin. I'm just trying to really drive this ball as far up the fairway as possible. But again, I don't want to use too much overpower and get a crazy fast needle. I just want to make sure that I do land on the fairway, which we do here. And the nice part about this hole is we do have a lot of fairway to work with, okay? This will take us into shot number 2. Now, shot number 2, again, this is another very long par 5. Even with getting good distance on my drive and even having a powerful wood club like this, I'm still at maximum distance of my shot, meaning I can't push my target up anymore. That's it. That's maximum distance of my wood club. So if you're playing with some lesser level clubs and you want to make sure you secure the eagle on this hole, this might be a situation where you need to use a super rookie or even something with more power. But you can see here, again, we're close. We leave it 1 green square away from an albatross. So maybe, minor tweaks there as well. Okay, this would be hole number 7. Hole number 7, we're using another spice ball. This has kind of been the go-to ball so far on this front 9. Now you're going to notice here on this drive, I barely use any overpower, and I should have used some right curl because I got very lucky and I rolled out of the fairway there. Now that's going to leave me for shot number 2. This one kind of hurts because on both of my accounts, I missed it barely. Notice here, full backspin. I'm using just a smidge of side spin to the left. We make our adjustment here. We do get that perfect ball. And look at this thing. Oh, it just hops right next to the hole. Very, very close for an eagle. Takes on the hole number 8. Of course, this is going to be another par 3. And I want you to notice one thing about my ring pull here on this hole. So, I'm going to do my yellow ring right up here on the rough line again. And notice here I'm using 1 bar of backspin. So, yellow ring at the rough, 1 bar of backspin. And I'm aiming right there at that seam again. Remember, that's the when I say the seam, that's where the light green and the dark green patches meet each other. And notice that I'm aiming left of the hole, just slightly left. Also notice we have 6.1 mile per hour. That means we're supposed to pull this 3 rings. But I did that on my other account, and I really missed significantly to the right-hand side. So this time I only pulled 2 rings. So definitely a big under-adjustment here. I only pulled 2 rings in 6 mile per hour wind. And I still missed to the right-hand side. But boy, oh boy, just barely. So I'm excited to test that shot out again live here in a few minutes. And see if we can get that one to drop for a hole-in-one. The biggest things that I'm going to change is I'm going to make it 1.5 bars of backspin. And then I'm going to pull even less rings to see if I can get that ball to drop. Hole-in-ones are hard. But I do think we're very, very close with some minor tweaks on that adjustment there. Brings into the last hole, hole number 9, another Spica ball. We are going full top, 2 bars of side spin to the left. Here, we're going to be aiming right just like this to the left of the sand trap, making sure our ball guideline is fully over the rough and aiming down the fairway as so. Again, this is not a hole to gamble on. This is a hole to take a nice, easy drive. You don't want to end up in the sand. You don't want to end up in the rough because if you do, you know, you're looking at a birdie, possibly par opportunity on this hole. But here we just have to land on the fairway. Mission accomplished. Brings us into shot number 2. Shot number 2 would be that albatross opportunity. We get the perfect ball. You kind of seen the setup there. There's really not a whole lot to see as I really missed this one to the left-hand side. But ultimately, you know, at least we're in there for a very easy and very safe eagle on hole number 9. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber already, please become one. Take a moment before you leave to hit the thumbs up button. And in the comments, let me know how you do on your round. Thank you.